On today's show, I sit down with the good folks from Moxa, who I know from their networking products, to talk about their remote connectivity solutions.
Hey, Shawn, thank you for having us on your show.
Thank you for coming on. I'm looking forward to learning about Moxa Remote Connect.
So I'll do a brief intro. My name is Jesse, and I'm currently work for Moxa. I'm a cybersecurity technical consultant working in the marketing enablement department. So today's agenda is fairly simple. We will demonstrate 3 scenarios of MRC. And the first is that we will remotely access a POC back in the office. And the second is I will demonstrate 2-factor authentication. And then the third is a time-based access control. So any questions? If not, I will proceed.
No, go for it. Looking forward to it.
Okay, cool. So beginning to work from home again due to the second wave. And before I left the office, I established a demo kit there, and I placed an MRC gateway on the demo kit, which is this little unit on the left-hand corner. And then I went home. So now I'm at home, I'm sitting on my computer, I'm using my computer, and I can remotely connect to the MRC cloud, and then that will connect back to the office. So I can operate the PLCs and the gadgets back in the office right now. So this is basically what we will be doing today. I'm at home, this is my computer, I have the Siemens TIA portal installed. I have the software for connecting back to the cameras, and then I have the MRC client software on my computer. So what I'll do later is I'll connect back to the office, which is the demo kit that I've just shown. We will be able to see through the cameras what's happening at the office. And what I'll do is I'll try to connect back to the PLC and try to make this drive spin. So this is the first scenario. Without further ado, here's how we accomplish it. So this is the MRC client. Oops. So this is the MRC client. This is what it looks like. This is a software that's installed on my computer. And right now I can sign in. So signing in will allow me access back to the MRC quick link server. So now it is establishing an encryption tunnel. And now I've established a tunnel back to the cloud. And so here it shows sign in. Here are all the devices that's located at the office site. So right now the VPN tunnel is not open yet. So by hitting this button here, it creates a VPN tunnel. So now it has all these green bars on the left-hand side, which means it's pinging the devices and it can reach them. So it means the devices are online.
Did you have to enter in all the devices you want to access? So you had to add in the PLC, the port 1, the drive. You had to add that in yourself, correct?
It depends. So in this scenario, I added in myself, but if our users want to use them, they don't really need to add it in. So the benefits of adding them in is to create kind of a whitelisting control. So any device that's in the list will be able to be accessed. But if a device is not in the list, the user will not be able to access it. So it kind of enables a whitelisting control. But if you don't set any device, you can reach all the device at the office ends network.
Okay, so the user gets to make that decision.
Yeah, so the user gets to choose what device they want to connect to, or if they just want to leave it blank, they can connect to all the devices at the remote local area network.
Okay.
Yep, cool. So now I've connected back to the office, and this software is basically the software for the cameras. So right now I'm refreshing the cameras. So you can see the images are coming back online. So this is in the office. We have a demo kit. It's a gateway connected to the PLC, and then a drive that will generate the motor to spin. And here I have a TIA portal. So I'm trying to connect the TIA portal back to the PLC right now. So let me search with it. So now the TIA portal is trying to search for the PLC. And by using this MRC solution, it kind of creates a virtual private network. So it connects my computer with the office network. So right now it found the PLC. So I would just press go online. Yes. All right. So now it is connected back to this Siemens PLC. So if I change my settings here, basically it should enable the motor to spin. So if I modify that to 1, then we can see from the camera that the motor is actually spinning right now. And this is very handy because I'm located at home and I can remotely access a PLC back in the office. So imagine if this is someone working in the factory and due to COVID-19, they can't be on site. This is what we recommend them to do. And this is what I'm actually doing with my toys, my devices. So I have a lot of devices back in the office, but I don't want to bring them home to work from home. So I just basically set an MRC gateway at the office, and then I will connect to that gateway using my desktop at home, and I can operate anything from there. So this is our first scenario. Do you have any questions or any concerns that you would like to mention?
No, I think that more than likely, instead of starting equipment, what would happen remotely is they would assist in troubleshooting. And I think that's good that you're showing the cameras integrated. I mean, being able to see the PLC code is one thing, but if you can also see the the machine working, that's very helpful. And a lot of times, I guess the case scenario here would be the person who programs a PLC has gone home for the night, but
Yep.
somebody on third shift has a problem, and instead of having to go into the facility, he can remotely troubleshoot it. So that's a good case. Now, one of the questions that would come up though is, because the people watching this are going to be in Canada and the United States predominantly is where our viewers are.
Yep.
I mean, we have viewers all over the world, but people in the United States will be concerned because you're on the other side of the world. Do
Yep.
you have a server in North America so that they don't have to go from, let's say, California to Taiwan back
Yep.
to Utah?
Yeah. So, Shawn, that's a very, very good question. And actually, we do have servers all around the world. Currently, we have 4 servers. So one is located in the US, the
Okay.
other is in Asia, which is in Singapore, the other is in China, and the other is in Europe. So basically, that's our global coverage right now. So if our customers are around the globe, they can choose a server that's closest to them, so the traffic will not be routed to a different place and then come back again. That will increase latency. So we try to have the locals servers near our customers.
Now that brings up another question. A lot of OEMs in Europe ship to the US, and a lot of OEMs in China ship to Europe, and vice versa. Is it possible for somebody, let's say in the US, to connect to a machine in, let's say, Taiwan?
Yes, that's possible, and it's actually what we see a lot right now because we have a lot of companies in Taiwan, and they are remotely connecting to Europe, or we have
Sure.
European companies remotely connecting back to Asian Pacific areas. So crossing continents is not an issue with MRC solution because we can use a local server.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
Cool. Yep, you're welcome. So recently, we have heard some noises in the market saying that security is one of their main concerns. So I would like to introduce what we have been working on. So we know right now a lot of ransomwares and a lot of man-in-the-middle attacks are happening. So we provide a couple of ways to prevent that from happening, to try to mitigate the risk before it even happens. So I would demonstrate 2 scenarios here. The first is 2-factor authentication, which basically means it will verify that you are who you say you are. So that's basically authentication. And then I'll talk about access control, which is time-based. So an operator will use this MRC client software to remotely connect back to the office or connect back to the factory. And if an administrator wants to control who can access these client devices, then the administrator will need to go to MRC Quick Link. So let me sign out first. So when I sign out, these images will disappear later. So you can see that it is disconnected because the VPN tunnel was destroyed. Now I go to Moxa Quick Link. So Quick Link is basically kind of like a centralized management platform. So in here, if I'm the administrator, I can choose who to give access to. So this is client Moxa test 123, which is the one that I was using. But right now, if I'm the administrator, I can come in here and enable 2-factor authentication. So when I enable two-factor authentication, it means that, let me type in the password first. All right, so when I enable two-factor authentication, it means that the operator needs an additional password in order to access the MRC solution. So for example, if I'm trying to access again, it will show this little box, which is asking me to type in a one-time password. And this password will be sent to the operator's email. So in this case, it is my email. So here it will show my MRC client verification ID is 416185. So what I need to do is I need to come back here and type in 416185. So if I type in this password, it means that I am really who I say I am because I received the email. And here we also have some login credentials, but it's already saved, so it's fine. So basically 2 keys. One key is the one-time password that we received via email. The second key is the original login credentials. So now I'm logged back in again, and you can see I'm signed in and the status are all online. So I create the tunnel again. And if I refresh the cameras, these images will pop up one by one. All right. So if we want, we can also connect back to the TIA portal and enable it to spin again, but I would just save that part. So basically, this is a very good way to authenticate the end users, which is operators, to make sure that they are who they say they are, or else giving access to a stranger is a pretty dangerous thing to do, especially in terms of cybersecurity. So this is a very handy function that our users can actually benefit from.
Let's say I work at the plant and I have 20 PLCs.
Yeah.
And those 20 PLCs come from 20 different OEMs. And
Mhm.
I want to be able to give each of those OEMs access, but only to their machines. When I create that single-use code that I send them, can I also make that client name, like can I tie to that client name what devices it can connect to? So could I have OEM A only gets access to 192.168.1.1 and OEM B only gets access to .2? And do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. So basically, you can choose here. Let me show you this slide. Okay, so basically on the left-hand side, there are users. On the right-hand side, there are different gateways connecting to different machines or PLCs or devices at its end. So we can specify on QuickLink server that which client, MRC client, can connect to which gateway. So for example, if the first gateway uses Siemens, the second uses ABB, the third uses maybe Mitsubishi, then we can specify, for example, client A can only connect to Siemens, client B can only connect to ABB, client C can only connect to Mitsubishi. So we can also have this kind of access control to prevent the wrong users from accessing the wrong devices.
So in that scenario, you're saying that if I have one MRC gateway, it has a single list of devices it can access.
Yeah.
In other words, I can't have a single gateway for multiple machines. I would need, if I had 3 different users and 3 different machines, 1 user per machine, I would have to buy 3 gateways. Is that correct?
That is one way of using it. The other way is you can also use a single gateway. So here, this is back on the QuickLink server. Under gateway management, users can come here to specify their device list. So for example, if I draw down here, these are the devices I have under this gateway right now.
Yeah.
And so I can go into, so this is a device list. I can come here and I can add a device, or I can change a device setting here. And basically I can specify which user has access to these devices.
So I could give user 1 the first 2 and then user 2 the second 2?
Yep. So
okay.
So here, yeah. So for example, Siemens PLC right now.
Yep.
I can click added. I can click which service I want it to go to. For example, if using HTTP, HTTPS, different ports, and you can set the port range of protocol, and then here you can choose a client. But right now I only have one client, which is
sure.
that's me.
So I could have So I could do this with one gateway. I could
Yes.
have multiple
So,
clients and give them each their own IP address to attach to.
yep. So if I have multiple clients, I can assign different clients to different devices. Then it will kind of separate the clients when they pass the gateway. So it will kind of like a very basic firewall rule that separates the traffic between the client and each of the devices.
That's excellent. And that would, for most people, that would probably be good enough because they won't have two different OEMs connecting at a time.
Yep.
But if two users tried to connect at the same time, what would happen?
They can connect at the same time. That's no problem because MRC Quick Link, if you the basic solution is that you can have 5 concurrent nodes at the same time. So a gateway is a node, a client is also a node. So 5 concurrent node means, for example, if you only have one gateway, you can have 4 clients connecting to that gateway at the same time. And users also have a 5 gigabyte free data usage per month when they buy a MRC gateway. So that's also very, very handy because you don't really need to set up the VPN by yourself. Everything is done. And I am lazy, so this is what I use right now. So I can also check my data usage here. So my total monthly data quota is 5 gigabytes, and right now I've only used 1. So this is very, very handy. So yep.
So the 5 gigabytes is free per month when you buy it.
Yep.
And then if you need more, you have plans that you can buy more?
Yes, if the users want to use more than 5 gigabytes per month, they can also buy additional data. It is kind of like topping up a bus card or metro card.
Mhm.
The basic monthly data volume they get is 5 gigabytes, and if they want to exceed that amount, they can also buy more amounts to top in.
And that amount carries over. So if you
Yes.
bought an extra 10 gigabytes, that would stay there until you used it all up. It may take 2 or 3 months, and then
Mhm.
you'd have to top it up. Like, all right, that's good.
Yeah. And also another function is that, for example, since we're at the MRC gateway, we can also specify which client has access to the gateway at a specific time. So say, for example, I'm in Taiwan and I only want my operators in Taiwan to operate this gateway, for example, at 9 p.m. today. So this is, I can set 9 p.m. to maybe 10 p.m. So this client right now, Moxa test 123, will only have access from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. So let me set that. Okay, so now I've set it, and if we sign out first, so sign out. So now that we've signed out, and if we want to try to sign in again, you can see that a message will pop up saying your service has not started yet. So it means that the operator can't really access the gateway unless the administrator gives them access. So the administrator can specify which operator can connect to the gateway at which specific time. So it's pretty handy, and it could prevent people from abusing this connection. And if at the factory side or at the remote side, people are concerned about the security, they can also enable different mechanisms. So for example, we just demonstrated time-based. Role-based, you've also mentioned that part, which is to specify which client can connect to which gateway. Service-based is basically choosing the service port of the device. So for example, this PLC only allows connection using service port 443 or service port 502, something like that. And device access control basically means when establishing a connection from the gateway to the MRC server, they will need a USB stick to act as a key. So if they plug in the USB, then it will enable the connection. If they unplug it, or if they want to connect it, but they don't have the USB, no connection will be established. So it is like a access control from the gateway side to prevent users from abusing this connection.
So that USB, that's a special USB device that you sell that the user would plug into the gateway to allow remote connection.
Yeah, there is no specific USB, so any USB will work as long as they have the correct file.
Oh, it's a file. Okay.
Yes, so it's basically a file that's doing this mechanism.
So it checks to see if that file's on the USB stick. That's great. No, I really like that because that gives you that physical protection So if you fat fingered something in the software, you know that because the USB stick's not installed,
Yes.
you get that backup. I really like that. That's nice.
Exactly. All right. Yep. So this is basically a very short introduction of MRC. So the whole solution is fairly simple. So it's composed of a gateway, a quick link account, which is the cloud server, and then the client software. So quick link and client software are all included when the customer buys a gateway. So right now I'm using a gateway. I installed it at the office, and this is already set. This is already set by Moxa, so users don't really need to create their own VPN server. And then what I have to do is just I need to install a client software. So gateway at the remote side, quick link is already established for you, and then the user connects to the quick link server and then back to the remote side. And because it is a cloud-based solution, so it allows third-party collaborations very easily. So if anything goes wrong, like what you just said, a PLC operator, he can just connect back from his house and check out what's going on and perform troubleshooting in a very timely manner. So this is something that's pretty useful, and this is something that I would like to share because my work has been impacted by COVID-19, but this kind of enables me to do my job from a remote area or from a different place. And it really keeps things going back in the plant. So yeah, I would like to recommend this solution to our customers and to our viewers.
Definitely. Thank you for coming on Automation Tech Tips and giving us that demo. It was really good.
All right, thank you, Shawn. We hope more users can benefit from this solution and keep their business keep on going in the COVID-19 pandemic.
Now, where's the best place to go if somebody wants to learn more about the MRC Gateways?
We would recommend them to go to Moxa's official website. So just go to the official website and type in MRC, and they'll see the Moxa MRC suite. And inside, they have all the information they need, or they can also contact our regional sales in the US.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, Jesse. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Shawn, for having us. Really appreciate it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that demo from Moxa about their remote access solutions. I want to really thank them for coming on the show and giving us that demo. You know, I especially like the ability to use a physical USB stick as a key to enable or disable access. We just heard on the news a couple weeks ago about a water treatment plant being broken into. Somebody hacked in and started changing some of the values to very dangerous levels. So the operators caught it. But if they would have been using this Moxa remote connectivity device with that physical key, no access would be allowed unless the operators actually went and plugged that USB stick in. So I like that. I also like just physically disconnecting the thing. You know, don't leave your VPN open all the time, 24/7, or, somebody's going to hack it eventually, right? So with that said, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank the folks from Moxa for coming on, and just wish you all a very happy, safe, and healthy week. And until next time, my friends, peace.